throwing food. I mean, like, I just remember when I was a student, like, I wasn't directly trying to pelt it at anyone, but I remember throwing it onto the field and then looking down, and you had opposing West Virginia players look you directly in the eye, pick it up off the ground, and take a bite out of it. Like, to me,
okay.
that's just Big 12 football.
A great week, another great conversation. I have Shelbie Rhodes here joining me post Big 12 championship covering Texas Tech for KCBD in Lubbock. Shelbie, how we doing post Big 12 championship celebration?
I'm still reeling. I don't know if each time I keep looking through my photo album, I'm just like, that was a couple days ago. So still reeling, still feeling all the feels, but I appreciate you having me on here to just talk about that entire experience.
The thing that's crazy too is you went to Texas Tech, so you're covering your alma mater, winning a Big 12 championship, the first one in the program's history. How do you react to that? Just knowing that you're there, you're covering your team, the school you went to, and the team that you've been rooting for.
Yeah, I mean, I think I texted my dad I've texted my dad, my mom, multiple people that's definitely going to be something I tell my kids about. Like, oh, you remember Texas Tech's first Big 12 title? I was there. So it's definitely something I never thought I would have been able to cover, especially I was sharing on my social media too. I have this picture of me as a 16-year-old in high school going to my first Texas Tech home game. And I think I captioned it like, I don't think this 16-year-old would have ever imagined, number one, that she would be covering Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, but also them winning the game. So it's just incredible. Again, I didn't think when I graduated in 2022, I mean, we all know how Tech has been trending up, but you're still you scratch that surface and you're almost there. So we knew it was coming, but I also don't think anyone also felt like it was going to happen, if that makes sense.
Exactly. But what was the perception though, going into the season? Because we all know that Texas Tech has the most or tied for the most NIL money of all the programs in college football. So what was the perception going in? Was it Big 12 championship or bust season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've heard Joey McGuire say it through and throughout, just Big 12 title. He knew year 4 was going to be important. I mean, you pour all of that money with Cody Campbell and the NIL, the Matador Club. It's just you knew something, you knew the Big 12 title had to be just that first goal. And even, Jacob Rodriguez, with all of the awards and everything that he's been nominated for, he's a finalist for. We could go up to him and ask him, how do you feel about that? And he'd just be like, that's awesome, but we have another game to play. Baron Morton, same thing. We have another game to play. And I think it's important to note that even with all the NIL money that we've spent, Jacob Rodriguez, Ben Roberts, Baron Morton, Bryce Ramirez, those are all guys that started their careers. I know Jacob Rodriguez transferred in from Virginia, but he was a quarterback. So he's been a true linebacker his entire time at Texas Tech. So those weren't the NIL guys that we just brought in, the Lee Hunters, David Baileys. Those were the homegrown Texas Tech guys that have been here since Joey started.
So you win it kind of, like you're saying, with the homegrown guys. You saw building up. What was the feeling around just that build up to the season?
It was incredible because, the Red Raiders have had a lot of down seasons, or just I think back to last year. Last year was my first away game ever getting to cover because I started off in San Angelo. And so last year was my first year in Lubbock. My first road game for a football game was TCU. And we remember that game. We were up until we weren't. And I'm pretty sure if we would have won that game, we could have been playing for a Big 12 title. So it's you knew it was coming last year. You just missed it. You see all of the hype. And, my coworker, Pete Christie, and I kind of joke about it that we're the two that we constantly drink the Kool-Aid. Like whatever we hear over the summer, we believe it. And I even had to like bring myself back down to earth a little bit and be like, you've drank the Kool-Aid the past 10 years. Let's see. And I mean, even going out to spring ball, like it was a different energy. These guys were big guys and they were ready. Spring ball, fall ball, they were looking at that Big 12 championship. So the buildup was insane. And I mean, I'm just finally glad they could get it done. And Joey McGuire is the perfect guy for the job. I mean, he said it plenty times that he will probably die in Lubbock. I don't want to say it like that, but he's the perfect guy for the job. He's built the most amazing staff with Shieldwood as the defensive coordinator. He's up for multiple finalists for coach of the year, Joey coach of the year, and then of course Mac Leftwich coming in from Texas State. They just built a powerhouse right there.
Lifetime contract. I think you can maybe like read into it, but Bill Self, the KU men's basketball coach, has the same deal. It's like lifetime contract. He's going to die, as you said, in the position. Yeah. When it comes to Joey McGuire, though, like what is it about him? What makes such the perfect fit there?
I mean, I just have to echo what all of the players say. I mean, it goes from the players that, again, have been here, the Baron Mortons, the Bryce Ramirez, the guys that have been here since Joey stepped foot into the building, but also then the Lee Hunters, the David Baileys, the guys that they were in the transfer portal and they were getting reached out to by Joey McGuire. But then even going even further, we just signed the incoming recruiting class, and I want to say I probably listened to every single one of those videos, the Lee Hunters and then the Jacob Rodriguez, that he is the same exact guy that you see day one every single day. So the videos of him like yelling Raider power, he will do that on the random street. If you ever see him walking out of the Womble, he'll do that. If he's in his office in the stadium and there happens to be someone on the field, he'll walk out onto his balcony and just yell, "Let's go." And, he called his recruits or his incoming recruits on signing day. And we actually got to go interview Chase Campbell from Friendship. He's one of the receivers coming in. And, he was asked like, how many let's goes did you hear from Joey? And he was like, oh, like, it probably filled up the entire line of the text box. So he's just the same guy from the day he got hired to now. And I think that shows with when he was getting interviewed after winning the Big 12 title. And, they were asking, how does it feel? And the first thing he said was, well, first, and then he started yelling, Raider, and the entire stadium erupted because that's the very first thing he did when he walked into that introductory press conference was the Raider power chant. So from day one of him being introduced as the head coach to now 4 years later winning the Big 12 championship title, he opened it the same exact way.
Sounds like the man of the people for sure.
Definitely the man of the people, but also his wife, Debbie. Debbie is the woman of the people. I kind of call her like she's the Princess Diana of the people. And then his daughter, Reagan. And then, of course, Garrett, who's on the staff. It's just, you see how much of a family they are, but it doesn't just stop with their family. It goes into the coaching staff. The coaching staff is their family. The players. I mean, he's talked about how much it means to him that he has so many guys that are, how many athletes he has that are married on the team. And because, I mean, Jacob Rodriguez and Emma Rodriguez, they bring a whole nother feel of family when these younger guys get to see these older guys grow up and get married, have their wife, potentially start a family. So, yeah, I mean, he's the man of the people. He's the family. He's Lubbock through and through. Like at Texas high school football coach, I come from Texas high school football. Granted, my schools were going 0-10, so I kind of had to look down the road to go live vicariously through Joey McGuire in Cedar Hill. But man of the people, Texas high school football coach. That guy just loves his Texas high school football. I mean, even today I saw a tweet from, I believe it was Greg Tepper from Dave Campbell Texas Football, and it was a screenshot of a text from Joey McGuire asking about the updated Texas high school football rankings and was like, hey man, can we get these updated? Maybe it was the brackets or something, but he's like a 100%, 110% ball coach. Like he digs into it.
It's crazy. I saw what was it? They did that coin flip at the gas station
Yes.
to decide who makes the playoffs for Texas high school football.
We were actually supposed to be up there because it was, I believe it was Lubbock High, Coronado, and then Caprock, I believe, but I could be mistaken that last Abilene or Amarillo team. But yeah, we were supposed to go up there. It was 10:30 at night. Me and my coworker Justin, we were doing our 30-minute sports highlight show for all, because we cover about 94 high schools here. So we were doing our 30-minute show. After we do that, Pete goes on behind us to do his recorded morning show, so everyone in the morning can see. And we just could not, it's a 40-minute drive. We just could not get up there for the coin flip. But yeah, if there's a 3-way tie, they're meeting up at a all subs Tootin' Totem gas station and doing a coin flip to see who gets in.
That's crazy. I mean, maybe they should do that for the college football playoff. If there's,
I saw some tweets and it was
for
like
that 12 and 13, they should be doing
the
that.
whole BYU, I think it was Notre Dame conversation, do a little coin flip.
That would be hilarious. But it might actually decide something. You can't argue what the coin flip says. So there you go.
The coin don't lie.
It doesn't lie. It doesn't lie at all. And what's been that environment now, like knowing that college football playoff is here? You do get the bye. So you see who Red Raiders will play between Oregon and James Madison. Probably Oregon. No offense to James Madison, but what's the vibe around that area now, knowing that this college football playoff is here?
I will say a lot of Tech fans, including myself, were assuming we were going, whether we stayed at 4 or even moved up to 3. I thought we were going to stay at 4, but we all kind of assumed we would get the Cotton Bowl, given that, again, we would be going to the same exact place we just played. We just broke the largest Power 4 crowd or the largest Power 4 conference championship crowd. We just broke that record, which, yes, BYU helped, but that stadium was, I like to say it was like 85-15 Texas Tech to BYU fans. So a lot of people were assuming that we would get the Cotton Bowl. We didn't. We got Miami, but Red Raiders travel. I've seen so many tweets, TikToks, Facebook, people just being like, future me might have to worry about this debt I'm putting myself in because we're getting to Miami. So everyone's excited. The team got back about 7:15 p.m. Saturday night, and there were thousands of Red Raiders there to welcome them home. Joey McGuire, I mean, you just coached the Big 12 title championship game. You won it. You had all these press conferences. You get on the plane, and then he stayed out there and shook hands with just about everyone, took pictures. You had the players autographing. So, which that's very common for Texas Tech shows out, because the same thing happened when Tech basketball was in the tournament last year. They got back at probably 2 a.m. one night and fans were there. So fans are going to show up, they're ready, and I just know that they're gonna pack the Orange Bowl. They're gonna pack it up in Miami. There's gonna be a lot of red. Hoping Oregon travels too, because I was looking on the map and I was like, we have to go from here all the way to here, and they have to go from here. So I'm hoping Oregon fans will make we think Oregon fans, not wanting to say that Oregon's just the outright winner of that game between James Madison, but if it were Oregon, we would like to think that they'd travel too, so it would be a good environment.
With how the Big Ten now is, I mean, I don't think the team minds the travel. I mean, they went to Penn State, Rutgers, across the country for games this year. So I think Miami would be, wouldn't be too much for them. They're not like the Big 12 where they pick more regional schools, but that's an argument for a different day.
Yeah. And I mean, Miami, I couldn't think of really a better, I'm not a cold type of person. I like it being warm. That's why I live in Texas, but also I happen to live on the colder side of Texas. So I'm dealing with it right now, but I just couldn't think of a more better place to play than Miami on New Year's. Like, it's not going to be too cold. So I think it'll be a good crowd of Red Raiders and then either James Madison or Oregon fans.
And Miami doesn't sleep, so I'm sure these Red Raiders fans will be up all night, especially if Texas Tech wins that game for sure. So lots of clubs that open up all night long, bars open up all night long. It's a good time there. Just like you said, just watch your budget. That's the only advice that I have for Texas Tech fans out there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Texas Tech fans get the celebration, like depending on the outcome, if it is a positive outcome, that Texas Tech fans get the celebrating out in Miami instead of bringing it back to Lubbock, because, a lot of the times Lubbock more recently is known for the fact that when we played in that national championship game a couple years back, that when we lost, or the rounds leading up to us winning and then ultimately losing, like Broadway was getting burnt down. There were cars getting flipped, lime scooters getting lit on fire. So hoping the celebration like that can stay maybe over in Miami and not bleed into Lubbock.
For sure. And shout out Matt Mooney. That he was same high school as me. So
oh my goodness, how cool.
Couple years old. Yeah. Couple years older, but yeah.
We cover Mooney. He always does a lot of camps over here over the summer, just giving back to the little 806 athletes, going from kindergarten all the way up into seniors in high school. He just continuously, we have multiple. We had Jared Culver, Matt Mooney. A lot of them come out this summer. Actually, Matt Mooney had Brandon Francis helping out in his camp. So a lot of former Red Raiders come back. It's a lot of fun, but no, that's so cool. I didn't know you went to school with him.
Yeah, shout out Notre Dame College Prep, Chicago suburbs, all boys Catholic high school. Shout out. Have to give it up for the plug. You were like saying how much the community embraces Texas Tech. So it's like the college town, the college environment feel very similar to Lawrence and a lot of other Big 12 towns as well. How is that environment with how does the town embrace the school embrace the town, that dynamic?
You can go to a Walmart, CVS, Dollar General, gas station, any restaurant, and there's always someone with a double T on their shirt, on the back of their car. A player could walk into Walmart as well, Target, and they're immediately getting approached and just, hey, I'm so excited to watch y'all play. So it's just, yes, they're fans, but it's everyone's a family here. Lubbock is a family. Red Raider Nation is a family. So it's just when you see one of the players walking by, it's just like they chose to be here in Lubbock. We're obviously, like, I choose to be here in Lubbock. I couldn't think of a better place to be right now. And so the fan support's insane. Like, I mean, I think back again to the BYU Texas Tech game in the regular season. We ended the week before, and Sunday morning, people were camping out for a game that wasn't taking place until Saturday the next week. And they camped out. I mean, it looked like a all-out block party. I mean, you had the basketball team showing up with giving pizzas to everyone. You had the softball team showing up some mornings giving breakfast burritos. So it's not even just like, oh, the community shows up for just basketball or just football. Like, no matter the history of whichever sport it is, Texas Tech fans are showing up. And I mean, we've seen it. It's been since 1996, Tech joining the Big 12, no Big 12 title, no Big 12 championship game even, but each year fans have continuously bought in. And I think that's what's made it the most beautiful getting to here. It's, you have me that of course I went there and I've waited years for it, but you have guys like Baron Morton's dad, you know, you have older Red Raiders that never thought they'd see this day, and now they're seeing it. So the buy-in from the community has been great, and with this incoming class we're bringing in, I can just see it getting even better, growing more. I mean, with how much we also like, Tech doesn't shy away from pouring into NIL. Like, if that's the name of the game, Jacob Rodriguez kind of said it best after the Big 12 title game. They said, you know, what do you say about, they only got here by having the most expensive roster? And Jacob Rodriguez said, well, like, might as well be here if we have the most expensive roster. So they're pouring in, but it's not just a money thing. Like, it is a family. You have Lee Hunter, who went up to Joey before the game and said, hey coach, like, I heard that if we win this game, would we get Christmas off? And Joey was like, you know, we got to see what happens, but trying to get y'all Christmas off. And he said, so I can see my kid? And Joey was like, yes. And he goes, you shouldn't have told me that, coach. I'm going to play a whole nother gear. So it's just stuff like that where, yes, the money is great, but you have a coach that actively wants you to be able to get home and see your kids. You want your coach to have dinner. You have a coach that's having dinners with the guys who have wives. It's a family here. And then that bleeds into the community.
I totally agree. If you're going to pay that much for your roster and then you back it up and you actually do what you're supposed to do with this roster that you pay for, I mean, come on, like, there shouldn't be anybody criticizing that at all.
Well, because, like, think about it on the flip side. If we would have spent this much money and didn't produce, everyone would have just been like, well, you just spent that much money not to produce. So, like, there's no winning, really. And, I mean, we didn't even have the most expensive roster this season. We didn't. There were teams that are higher than us in the top three that have a more expensive roster. There's teams that did not make the playoffs that spent more money.
Texas. Yeah.
But so it's like you've had more teams that spend more money but didn't make the playoffs. But if Tech would have spent this money and didn't make it, we would have been clowned. And then it's like we make it and we're getting clowned. Like, I can't tell you the amount of comments I've seen that, like, all it took was Texas and OU to leave and all of this. But it's like Texas is out of the college football playoff. So
that was their decision to leave. So I'm not gonna.
No,
they're the ones that want to go to the SEC.
Pat McAfee was making jokes to Joey this past week that Tech needed to join, that Tech needed to leave the Big 12 and maybe join the SEC. And Joey made it quite clear that Texas Tech has no interest in leaving the Big 12.
Oh, this is good. This is good. No, as another Big 12 school alum, I'm all for that. Now, I will admit though that the first Texas Tech game I watched was the Kansas game this year, and like one of the first things they said on the broadcast was, "Oh, Texas Tech just got a penalty before the kickoff even happened, the opening kickoff, because of tossing tortillas." And I was like, "Wait, what? Tossing tortillas?" So you have to explain this to me, how this happened and why the student section does this.
So, I mean, even as a Tech student, like, I don't even think they clearly tell us where this tradition started. I know we used to have those third down clickers and they got rid of those. And I just think it's a West Texas tortilla loving thing that right when, to my understanding, it was supposed to be just right at kickoff. But over the years, every single kickoff, not just the opening kickoff, they throw it at every kickoff, which it really hasn't been an issue. But then you get into the issue of like, oh, tortillas are thrown on the field, but also while tortillas are getting thrown, you have other objects. But I will say that Kansas game is a little bit of a sore spot for me, given all the drama that surrounded it with pocket knife gate, but it ended up not coming from Tech. So the tortilla conversation it's valid, but I don't know. I just feel like you're throwing food. I mean, like, I just remember when I was a student, like, I wasn't directly trying to pelt it at anyone, but I remember throwing it onto the field and then looking down, and you had opposing West Virginia players look you directly in the eye, pick it up off the ground, and take a bite out of it. Like, to me,
okay.
that's just Big 12 football. Like, I don't know. So it's been a kind of a whirlwind with the tortillas, and then even at the Big 12 game, granted, when they announced like tortillas are gone, Tech fans responded really well in their actions. Like, I was afraid that it was going to be like we're rioting, but Tech fans, they said, okay, no tortillas, we're just going to be loud. So that first game after like the official no more tortillas, I think there was maybe about 50 that I saw on one side. I wasn't watching on the other side, but those also never made it onto the playing surface. And I believe that's the rule, is like first it was the field, then it turned into the whole playing surface, so the whole entire field, the sideline, everything, but they didn't make it onto the playing surface. So it didn't affect Tech, but I was also worried about, going somewhere like Arizona State, our one loss this year, and what if it's an opposing team throwing the tortilla to try and that was a big conversation. So, I mean, again, the tradition, it started way before my time, and I don't even think they really at orientation explained how it started. They just say we throw tortillas, and you're just like, all right, I guess I gotta go find some corn or flour tortillas, see which one flies better. But nope, they're stuffing them in their boots before the games. You had them in girls' bras before the game. Anywhere that was not getting checked, that's how tortillas got brought into the Jones AT&T Stadium. But not an issue anymore.
That's crazy, but it definitely did shake Kansas, because I will say, like, that was probably the end of our season, was that game. I mean, I know we were like one win away for the last like 4 games to get bowl eligible and didn't do it, but that game, just Baron Morton, it gets hurt, the backup comes in, and the backup just dices us up. So it's okay. And then the one loss that Texas Tech does have is Baron Morton's not there. So so it's like, what do you say about that? Like,
Well,
I mean, and the rest of the games is dominant. I mean, 20 or more points every other Big 12 game. So,
I mean, even if you look at the Utah game, it's like Baron Morton isn't in and Will Hammond has to come in. But I just think that goes to say like how much about our quarterback room, because we had Baron go down, Will stepped up. Unfortunately, Will went down, and you saw how much that entire room rallied around him getting better and getting back. And then that brings us to Mitch Griffis, and Mitch Griffis has an amazing story of basically him being recruited by Mac when he's on a construction site. He's already left Wake Forest. He's on a construction site. He didn't know if he'd ever play college football again. And you have Mitch come in, and Mitch has won some games. Yes, we've been up, but Mitch has come in and taken care of business. I didn't even realize during the Big 12 championship game, because I was so far on the other side, that I didn't even realize, because I think Baron and Mitch favor each other a lot in like how they look. And also you have Baron that wears 2 and Mitch that wears 12. So I didn't even notice that 2 got subbed out for 12 and Mitch got to take those final snaps. And so that's another thing that just, I think, speaks numbers to the team. And the injuries, someone goes down, it's like Baron wasn't hurt to the point where he needed to go out of that game, but he still looked at his 3rd string, now 2nd string, since Will's gone, or not gone, but he's out. And he said, Mitch, like, come take these final 2 victory formation snaps. So that's what I think is just crazy, that no matter which quarterback comes in, you have the receivers absolutely hyping them up. The linemen, they don't care who it is. They're going to protect them. They're going to get the ball down the field. We're going to get in the end zone. And so I just think that's insane, that no matter who we have, which Baron has shown through and through that he is the leader of this team, but Will can come in and win a game. And then if Will and Barron are both gone, Mitch can come win a game. And then we even had we've had Lloyd Jones come in and Holden Phillips come in. So we've gotten the opportunity this season to give a lot of those backups and younger guys reps, which I think that only fuels that team cohesiveness. Because you get a Lloyd Jones 2 touchdowns to Micah Hudson, who was our 5-star who left and then came back. It's just like seeing that, and that's in a Big 12 game where you wouldn't think your second or third string guys would be in, but they got to go put up good touchdowns against a Big 12 team.
That's just good culture right there, sounds like to me.
Yep, everyone eats in Lubbock, Texas.
Hey, and tortillas too, right? They're putting tortillas on everything they're eating.
We're just going to eat tortillas and go win some football games.
There we go. And you mentioned this is you went back to Lubbock for your second job in the business. So kind of going back now and kind of realizing that you've seen this Big 12 championship. You went to college there. So like those 2 years away coming back, what do you think those 2 years like did for you to now come back and realize this now?
Those 2 years, so I was lucky enough to not have to leave the state. I went from Lubbock just southeast to San Angelo, and I spent 2 years there. So luckily, like, I still had my Texas Tech fix. I could still watch and, be a Red Raider without anyone looking at me like, this isn't Red Raider territory. Like, San Angelo is still pretty much Red Raider territory. But I just really got to learn and like craft who I wanted to be in San Angelo, being in a smaller market. I had Angelo State and Angelo State women's basketball, men's basketball, volleyball, their football team. Like, those events helped me be able to cover something on the magnitude of the Big 12 championship, which I also got to do softball's Big 12 championship last year. But I feel like all of that I wouldn't be able to have covered so successfully if I didn't start with doing Angelo State. And then also, we had our high schools out there, the Wall Hawks, you had San Angelo, the Bobcats, Lakeview Chiefs. So we just had a lot of high schools there that helped me kind of balance the workload between high school and college. And then coming here, it kind of just grew a little bit. Like, we have a bigger pool of high schools, and then we have, of course, Texas Tech, but LCU, and then we go just up north to Wayland Baptist and cover them. So I just think San Angelo helped me find out what kind of reporter I wanted to be and just kind of shake off the rookie rust, I would say. I definitely, I was a weekend sports anchor and reporter, but throughout my 2 years there, I, did live shots for the primary elections, and that's not sports related at all. So I definitely had to learn that. By the end of my time there, I was not only doing my weekend sports cast, but I was doing the entire 30-minute weekend show, news and sports. So it was a lot of learning and being able to carry a lot, but I feel like that only in turn helped me here, because something as exciting as the Big 12 championship now going into the college football playoff, like, I don't feel as shell-shocked going into it. I feel like, okay, like, just had the little version, that was the Big 12, and now it's going to just get slightly bigger and bigger, if that makes sense.
For sure, yeah. It's like you just need the more reps. You need like something that, just gets you ready, more prepared for the bigger moments. What was that like bigger thing for you where it's like, I'm like more confident in doing these things? Like, once you got back to Lubbock, that you were like, this is like what this is like what I'm meant to do. And now I'm like here, and this is me. This is what I'm doing.
I think it would have actually been my either second or third week on the job. So I work with Pete Christie, but at that time I also worked with Zach Fox. He's now the sports director up at a station in Georgia. And, I got there and they gave me that training and onboarding that I really needed. But they said, like, are you comfortable? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm good. And one of the first things I got to cover being back in Lubbock was a Micah Parsons football camp. And I got to interview Micah Parsons. And that was just something that I was like, whoa, this is bigger than what I've done in San Angelo before. Like, I haven't done anything like this. And so it went from that. And then, you know, kind of hitting that milestone of, again, my first road Big 12 game. And, you know, even though it wasn't the outcome we wanted, getting to know that, like, okay, I can do this. And then leading into, I'm mixing up my months, but that Big 12 championship for softball, you know, that was my first, like, real gone for multiple days, covering multiple games at a time, watching Tech get one win, get the next one, and then get that Big 12 championship softball title. That was the big one that I was like, okay. And then, of course, that bleeds into now this year. You go from Big 12 championship or Big 12 softball championship title to now Big 12 football championship title. So I just feel like the opportunities I've been set up with here in Lubbock, I'm like, they're second to none. Again, covering Micah Parsons when, you know, of course, that was when he was at the Cowboys, so he had a reason to do camps in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing all these little athletes, younger all the way to high school level, just like showing up to see this Dallas Cowboy player, and then again going into softball, kind of seeing the rise of softball and just that incredible run they had set me up to be able to feel like I wasn't going into Big 12 blind. Like, my station has really set me up for success to be able to be like, oh, if Jacob Rodriguez was going to New York City, like, I could go up there. Like, I wouldn't feel intimidated, but he got snubbed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, let's be honest though. Like, defense, they don't really look at defense. I mean, Heisman's usually a quarterback award. It's usually quarterback of the year, we should say. I mean, that's the issue. They change it to that. Even though historically it's been running back, but we'll see which quarterback wins it. But what is it though about you? Because you've come to Lubbock now and you've seen 2 Big 12 championships. So what do you think it is about you though? I mean, come on.
Look, I can't take any credit, and I will not, but like, I will say, like, I bleed Red Raiders. I bleed red and black. I've said it multiple times. I thought coming into this career and like in high school, talking about what I wanted to be when I grew up, like, I did think I wanted to be the next Aaron Andrews, be there up at that national level. But the more, again, and I've only been in Lubbock over a year now. I started in June of 24. So I haven't been here too long, but just in the time that I've been back, this is what I want to be covering. I want to be covering Texas Tech football, Texas Tech basketball, soccer, the high schools we have out here, just everything. Like, Lubbock is just the perfect place to be. And, you know, you're getting to see your college on the national level, really across the board in all sports. And I mean, Lady Raider basketball, they haven't been ranked in the top 25 AP poll since, I have it on my phone right now. They have not been in the top 25 poll since January 2011.
Wow.
And they are undefeated as of right now. And they are the second to last team, or the second team outside of that 25. So I think it goes Princeton, and then Lady Raiders are receiving votes. So it's just, again, like, that's a team that you saw them struggle last year, but then you saw them go into the WBIT and kind of really control things in that and make it really far, and just kind of wish, like, oh, like, what could have been. And then you see what they're doing this season, almost cracking into that top 25 before conference has even started. Tech basketball, they just got a huge win over LSU, and now they're going back to Dallas next week to play Arkansas. That'll be a top 25 matchup. Tech football, on the other hand, like soccer just got done in the NCAA tournament. Softball, they finished runner-ups, but then you have the number one incoming transfer class and just an absolute powerhouse with Jerry Galasco and even those returners, those transfers. So it's just the perfect time. I cannot take any credit. I am a spokesperson for Red Raider Nation. Like, there's people on TikTok that are like, de-influence what college I should go to, and it's always like Texas A&M, SMU, and all I have to do is post some type of picture of our crowd, whether it's basketball, football, softball, some type of picture, and I'm like, who wouldn't want to go here? And kind of like you said with the college town, like I got to go to Manhattan.
Boo.
I got to go to Manhattan for the Texas Tech Kansas State game, and I never understood why people are like, oh, Austin is a better college town, because in my mind, I'm like, Austin is a city that has a college in it. SMU, that's a city that has a college in it. Fort Worth with TCU. But Manhattan was my first true experience outside of Lubbock, seeing like, okay, this is just a town that like really shuts down for football. And so I like that a lot about, Texas Tech. Like, you have to drive 4.5, 5 hours to get to Dallas. And, we do have a big Red Raider DFW following. That's where I'm from. So it's not, you can go home for the weekend, but it's not an every weekend thing. So that's what makes it a true college town. Then you have Manhattan. That's the same way. Lawrence, all of y'all are kind of like right there on that little like line, like boop, boop, boop. And then it's
Don't put us together. No, just kidding. Don't put us together.
Y'all both have to leave y'all's towns to be able to go to like Kansas City or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. Kansas City is only like 50 minutes from KU, so
yeah. But that makes KU a true, like they're not in Kansas City.
No,
they're over here on their own.
Yes, this is true.
Yes, so I mean, I think that's just. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just a Red Raider fan that just happened to be blessed to come back and work in the town that I graduated from. I have a degree from there. I mean, I'm looking on my mirror right now and I still have my graduation hat hanging on it, my cap, and, my red tech stuff. So I'm just a Red Raider for life. I couldn't be more blessed to be back in Lubbock, and this is the perfect time. Sorry, my cat.
Oh, you're good. That's great for you. Happy for you, of course. Not a whole lot of people can even say that. So the fact that you can say that is awesome. And we don't like Kansas State on the show, so don't bring up Manhattan. Sorry, that's just the thing.
Look, we won. We won. We did it. We did it for Kansas.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. But hey, at least if we were bowl eligible, I think we would have actually gone to our bowl game, unlike Kansas State. So we don't have to pay $50,000 to not go to our bowl game. So
yeah, I'm like side-eyeing these Big 12 teams that are declining the bowls, which I get. Like, some of them are coaching and stuff. Like, it's not a Notre Dame situation.
No.
But I'm just like, guys, y'all have seen Tech go to the Taxac Bowl and the Independence Bowl. Like, we're one of the first bowl games that play. And we every year, like, let's play some football.
Hey, if you have to do it, just bring your backups. Bring like a coordinator or like the quarterback's coach or whoever, and then show up.
Well, and I think Joey's first year, or like when he was hired, going into that, we had our OC, as I'm pretty sure he was our leading guy, because the coaching change had already happened, and Joey couldn't coach, and so we had our coordinators doing that, and we went out and we had a good week of football, and just we got another bowl game. So I don't know. I get with the coaching changes, and maybe your season's been done for a while already, but I never disagree with playing more football. Like, granted, we shouldn't be playing, like Joey says, into the 2026 calendar, but like, why not play more football? Some of these guys, it's their, like, I just can't imagine if like that Notre Dame conversation, like, obviously we don't know the ins of the outs of it, but I just can't imagine if like those players weren't consulted and some of them thought they may get one more game, and then it's just like, hey, that was your last game. Like, I can't imagine that. That hurts my little football heart. So that's kind of where I'm like, the Iowa States and the Kansas States, like, go play one more game.
Mhm.
Go play, like, go leave it all out in the field. It's not going to hurt unless you lose.
Yeah, the thing is, and working in Iowa, knowing a little bit about Iowa State, I feel like maybe with like the new coach coming in and Matt Campbell leaving, we don't know about like which players are leaving and going, and their bowl game could be like 1 or 2 days before that transfer portal opens. So they don't want to like create like any sort of like crazy drama or something like that. I mean, I'm just trying to like read into the lines here. I'm not trying to like create any speculation or anything, but I think that's probably what it is for like, because Kansas State too, there's like rumors that their quarterback might be leaving as well. So, and Iowa State, Rocco Betu is the quarterback. He was kind of Matt Campbell's guy, who's now at Penn State, so he might transfer.
Yeah.
So I think it's more just like that. Like, I think these programs just don't want to like put too much like attention on that, like who's leaving and who's going type situation.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely the case. And then I look at it again from the Texas Tech side, where it's like Joey has straight up said that even if some guys tell him that they have every intention to transferring, like, he puts them in the bowl game. It's like, that's more film for you. And so I get it, because like coaching changes, you don't know who's going to be there and whatnot, but I've seen it work out from other universities like Tech, where it's, we had a guy score a couple years back, I'm pretty sure 2 touchdowns for us in a bowl game, and he didn't even come back that next season. Like, he had, I think 2 days before the bowl game, he had already announced where he was transferring to. And so while I understand, because it like, you don't want that messiness. I just think there is a positive way to go about it, kind of how Joey utilizes it. And he's like, hey, just let me know, which he's even said this year, like, no one has straight up came up to him and been like, Coach, I have every interest in transferring. So, but if they were told that, if they did tell that to Joey, he's never been the person to be like, okay, you're not playing in our bowl game. You're not representing Texas Tech, because they've poured in to Joey for so long. So Joey always pours right back into them. So I think it could go either way. I mean, I feel like they're doing the best for their university, but I've seen it from the Texas Tech side. So I'm like, play if you want. Go throw the football around.
I think Texas Tech is like setting the precedent for how to manage this college football world right now, honestly, because we all know like coaches have talked about it, pundits have talked about it, how this calendar is just like messed up out of proportion. But it seems like Texas Tech knows what they're doing. I'll put that on the record. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a guy like Joey that's like the head of the team, but then you have our general manager, James Blanchard, you have him, and, Notre Dame came after him last year, and he was like, I'm good with the Red Raiders. And, then you have the backing of that Cody Campbell, but also like the Matador Club, like the outside organizations other than Cody Campbell. Like, everyone is buying in, they're pouring in. You have the new state-of-the-art football facility that, we've heard NFL players say that they don't even have a facility that nice. So I just think Texas Tech's doing everything right. And I think what makes it even better is they're not shying away from any of those conversations. Like, they will straight up talk about the money conversation. Joey will get on his soapbox and talk about the scheduling of the college football playoffs and the coaching changes and all of that. So I think that's enough, which, like, it might fire other fan bases up because, you know, some things that have been said in press conferences have caused other fan bases that we don't even play go crazy on social media. So, you know, some of it, you know, kind of turns it around on us, but they're not shy to have those conversations. They're like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to lay it all out on the table for y'all. And like, there's no secrets going on with Texas Tech football. What I know is what you know, is what the national media knows. And that's what the guys in the building know as well.
And that's what you want to know. You want the team that you're a fan of or the university you went to be super communicative and telling you exactly what you want to hear. And Texas Tech is doing that. And I do want to mention, though, we're getting towards the end here, but I do want to mention that we kind of became friends through like doing Instagram lives and all those things. So how is that Instagram live going for you now?
You know, it's going good, but Sunday Night Football just puts us on so late because
I was going to say, like, that post game is super long now. Like, it's like 11 o'clock and NBC is not even on yet.
Yeah, so there's a lot of the times that I'm going on Instagram live at midnight on a Sunday, and I'm lucky to have a good 3 people chime in. But, you know, it's fine because I just do it because I thought when I was in college, I very much enjoyed scrolling and seeing the behind the scenes. There was a girl that I believe she now works in Houston. I'm blanking on her name, but she kind of made it big from showing people the behind the scenes of our industry, getting to see, you know, the fact that we do run from 3 shoots and then we go edit it together and then we have to do our makeup and hair and get on air for a good 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That was a lot of fun for me to see because I didn't necessarily know that in college until I got into my internship. Was like, oh, we do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of, you know, I imagine that, yes, it's my followers, but I do have a public account. So, you know, if there's a not little high school girl, but if there's a high school girl that, you know, wants to do what I'm doing, or a Texas Tech girl that's just starting as a freshman, you know, I'd like to think that they click on my live, they see what's going on, and, you know, that kind of helps them decide, like, do I want to do that? And, you know, I just love having people reach out to me and just say, you know, can I shadow you for the day? Texas Tech has a very good journalism department. And one of the classes your assignment is you have to go and shadow someone for whatever industry you want to go in. And so I'll constantly have people come and shadow me. But what is really cool is the people that stick after the assignment, like that assignment's done and turned in, but they're still reaching out to me. Hey, can I shadow you? Hey, do you have anything going on? And so they're learning more. And I feel like that also just makes me a better reporter and anchor. Like, if I can teach someone, that's only going to help me more. Cause like, I'm having to think about really what I'm saying and, you know, does it work? What doesn't work? And stuff like that. So, you know, the Instagram lives, they're hit or miss sometimes, but I also started this, the guy that was here before me, Zach Fox, he was the one that did the show that I'm on now. He had his Fox Fantastic 5 plays of the week, and, you know, everyone looked forward to those. And when I kind of stepped into that role, I didn't do it for a couple weeks, but I just felt like I was like, there's just something missing to wrap up my show. So, you know, I started my Shelbie Sensational 6 plays of the week. So, you know, that's something I like, that, you know, even if Instagram Live's not getting anything, I'll clip that and post it on Facebook. And, you know, these small West Texas towns love the coverage. And, you know, if they see a guy from Shallow Water in the highlight or in the top 6, they're sharing it. You see from our most recent state champs, their TAPS, the Lubbock Christian Eagles, you know, if they get into the top 5, they're sending it to everyone, the grandmas, the moms, the ones that live 2 hours away. My kid was on the news. So that's what I like too. Like, so my Instagram, I would like it to grow, but it being at midnight, I'm not going to blame people for not tuning into an Instagram live at midnight going into your work week. So that's why I try and clip a lot of my stuff and still put it onto Facebook or X, Twitter. I'm still in the Twitter phase. I don't think
we're the cool kids that can still call it Twitter. That's what I like to say.
I just don't think I can, I'm like, am I Xing? Like, I'm tweeting. But I just like putting all that content out there. So families, I mean, even tech football players, like if they crack into the top 6, which a lot of times they do, but for the parents that can't come out to every one of their games, I like being able to post that. I'll stay on the field and Pete will be up in the press box and we'll both get different angles of the Texas Tech Going band, and we'll post those onto social media because they don't show the band during halftime, and a lot of these band parents can't come see them. So yeah, I just feel like utilizing social media in every way possible just helps me out the most, whether it's, a TikTok video of just the celebration of the Big 12 title, or, hey, here's what a day in my life looks like, or just a look back at, a win over West Virginia or something like that. Just breaking things down. I know when Aaliyah Chavez, she now goes to OU, when she was here, I covered her in the Caprock Classic, and I made a TikTok video just documenting, like, this is the number 1 player for the class of 2024? Class of 2024, and she's right here in Lubbock. So I just think utilizing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok in any way, like, that's just gonna help me, help my station, but also help whether it's Texas Tech, Lubbock Christian University, or these high schools.
Yeah, band videos always do well. I've even like high school games too. Like, everyone just loves seeing the band. Always put the band out there. And it's awesome that you utilize your social media. So the last question is, where can people see all your great work out there?
I've made it easy. All of my my Instagram and my Twitter, it's the same thing, and I believe my YouTube it's all Shelbie, Shelbie, Elaine, Elaine 13. I believe that's my Instagram. I'm looking right now to see if that's my YouTube, but I believe it is. I can't go with 100 different usernames. How they make us change our passwords all the time. But no, so my YouTube is actually Shelbie Rhodes. That's my Facebook is Shelbie Rhodes KCBD. Shelbie with an IE. My parents just had to be a little different and not give me the Y. But yeah, I'm trying to get better at TikTok. I'll go a couple weeks strong and then I'll drop off for a few weeks. So just Shelbie Elaine 13 on Instagram and TikTok, and then YouTube Shelbie Rhodes, and then Facebook is Shelbie Rhodes KCBD.
Pretty easy, and that's what you have to do. Keep it easy for people. I mean, everywhere I am, I'm NCuz, NCOUZ, easy. Just tell people to go there, and that's where we're at. And then Nick Couzin on YouTube. So if you're watching this episode, make sure you like and subscribe too. I gotta get my own plug out there. But Shelbie, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. And of course, I'm going to share this. So any of my people watching, make sure y'all subscribe. You got to hit the subscribe button for Nick. Because I just think it's awesome that you brought me on here, not just to talk, of course, Texas Tech and Big 12 title, but my cat is squeaking behind me, but my journey through college and then get to this point. So I'm definitely going to share it. So all my people watching, y'all better subscribe to Nick.
Thank you. Everyone has a story, so I'm glad that you shared some of it as well. And we're all excited for the college football playoffs coming up here. Shelbie, thanks for hanging out with me on Cousins Conversations.
Thank you so much.
All right. Peace out, everybody.